On the amber weather warnings and of course a full forecast later on in the programme. Other news now, and Downing Street is tonight involved with a direct clash with the football presenter Gary Lineker over the government's plans to deal with the small boats crisis. Number 10 described as not acceptable his criticism of Rishi Sunak's new asylum policy, in which he compared the language of its launch to Nazi Germany in the 1930s. But the Match of the Day host today refused to back down and said he won't stop speaking out. More from our political correspondent Carl Dinnan.
Please welcome Gary Lineker.
He has long mixed his work for the BBC with a degree of campaigning against Brexit and in support of refugees.
Well, there you go.
What are you doing?
Britain wouldn't be Britain without refugee.
But Gary Lineker's tweet about the illegal immigration bill has angered Conservatives more than usual. He wrote, "This is just an immeasurably cruel policy directed at the most vulnerable people in language that is not dissimilar to that used by Germany in the 30s. Needless to say, that has hit a nerve.
I'm very disappointed by Gary Lineker's comments, and I think equating our measures, which are lawful, necessary and fundamentally compassionate, to 1930s Germany is irresponsible, and I disagree with that characterisation. I'm delivering measures because we are on the side of the British people. The British people are fed up with this problem.
The BBC said they would be having a frank conversation with their highest paid star, although a former England teammate told us the BBC had encouraged Lineker to take a stance on human rights elsewhere.
I agree 100% with Gary, but the BBC stance for me is a little bit strange because, of course, even Gary himself in the World Cup in Qatar and their stance on human rights abuses, be it LGBT or workers' rights in Qatar, which wasn't particularly impartial, and the BBC, of course, encouraged that.
Back in Westminster, the substance of the policy was also generating considerable heat.
He voted against measures to deport foreign criminals, Mr. Speaker, and he even argued against deportation flights. Well, and we know why, because on this matter, he talked about his legal background. He's just another lefty lawyer standing in our way.
This is their 5th Prime Minister, their 6th immigration plan, their 7th Home Secretary, and after all this time, all they offer is the same old gimmicks and empty promises.
The Prime Minister is due to discuss the small boats crisis with President Macron in Paris on Friday.